Patrick Allvin, you better get the phone lines open today, baby, because Kiefer Sherwood's trade value has never been higher. The trade freeze, the roster freeze, it's going to kick in about 2.5 hours from now, so Patrick Allvin, do yourself a favor and help out this Canucks team, because Kiefer Sherwood has just gotten another hat trick. The third of his NHL career. The first since October of this season. And Chief Keef, after going through such a slump that coincided with the start of the trade rumors surrounding him and his future, has just gotten out there with a 3-goal night against a New York Islanders team that was missing Bo Horvat, that got shaky at best defending in front of Ilya Sorokin, and that just wasn't able to handle Vancouver's forecheck and aggressiveness. Ladies and gentlemen, the Vancouver Canucks have just defeated the New York Islanders 4-1, and for the first time since October 19th, the Vancouver Canucks have won 3 games in a row. They are literally undefeated in the post-Quinn Hughes era. And you can say, what the hell? This team's missing out on their top center, Elias Pettersson. They're missing on the guy that was supposed to be second-line center for the majority of this year in Filip Chytil. And they just traded away Quinn Hughes. Answer me this, hockey gods. How does a team that is literally last place in the NHL, how in the world does this team start winning after they trade away their best player? It's almost like Quinn Hughes was holding the Vancouver Canucks back. Oh, baby, they are starting to put it together. This team was never that bad, right? Bad enough to stay at the bottom of the NHL? It's kind of funny because after winning 2 games in a row against New Jersey and the Rangers, Vancouver was still last. So it paints a clear picture as to how far back the Vancouver Canucks were from all these teams in the NHL standings when they can get 4 straight points in a stint of games and still be last. Now, for those who are cheering on Team Tank, I don't think the Vancouver Canucks are last anymore. With today's showcase against the Islanders, they have now overtaken both Nashville and Seattle for third last in the NHL. So, yeah. Team Tank's not eating good today, unfortunately, but we still do have some really interesting narratives to follow from this hockey game. Because Kiefer Sherwood going out there scoring a hat trick against the Islanders, once on the power play, once at even strength, and then once on the empty net. This is a guy whose value heading into the final few minutes of NHL roster eligibility for today, it all of a sudden gets very interesting. And honestly, I feel kind of bad. Like, I'm sitting here saying, man, the Canucks would be pretty darn cool if they decided to trade away Kiefer Sherwood today, if they did so in a move right after he scores himself a hat trick, if they capitalized on all the value he had accrued and tried to take advantage by getting a whole bunch of assets and picks and whatever. Now, if they did that today, that would be a great move. I feel kind of bad to say that because Kiefer Sherwood, you watch some of the replays, you watch his celebrations after the goals. This is a guy that genuinely looked stoked for his hockey team to score these points, to seal this victory, and to be a big contributing factor along the way. I get it. Personalities are not equal across the board. You can't take one standard for one person and apply it to the same standard for another when you know that they are just different. But it's so refreshing to see Vancouver Canucks players actually look like they are enjoying themselves and that they're part of something better and bigger than themselves. I mean, Quinn Hughes, it always goes back to freaking Quinn Hughes, does it not? But, like, body language was an issue for Quinn at the end of his tenure as a Vancouver Canucks defenseman and captain. I mean, you can tell that the guy was totally checked out. Kiefer Sherwood, though, He scores these goals, sure, on the empty net he looks kind of stone cold and low-key, but after the game is done, it's all smiles, they're enjoying themselves, it looks like this team is having fun again. After the goals go in, Chief Keef celebrates, he's looking good. A lot of the players, especially the younger guys, they're getting involved in the offense. The newer guys getting involved in the offense, like David Kampf, for example. I mean, there's a certain level of joy that I think we are seeing out of the Vancouver Canucks executives and players on the ice that I don't think we've seen in a while. Considering all the drama with Elias Pettersson and JT Miller, considering Quinn Hughes and the dark cloud that was looming over his head. Heck, you could even say with the absence of Elias Pettersson in the lineup today, this is a new kind of Vancouver Canucks team. And now I'm sitting here and saying that the Canucks should trade away the guy that just got his 14th, 15th, and 16th goals of the season. If Patrick Allvin was ballsy enough, he'd do it. But I don't know if that's really what he has in store for today. We will see, and if there is anything that happens, we'll make a video about it later on in the night. But Vancouver played a very hard, aggressive forechecking game. They overwhelmed the Islanders with their aggressiveness. Matthew Schaefer, of course, got his pocket picked by that same Kiefer Sherwood in order to get the 2-0 goal. And the Islanders, desperate as always, you know how Patty Waugh likes to do his business, they pulled the goalie with 5 minutes left in the third period. It resulted in a goal, which is great for them, but ultimately it's not enough as Kiefer Sherwood ends up getting that empty netter later on, sealing the deal for Vancouver and giving them the 4-1 lead. Let's go over the goals and then we'll end this video off because I've got ball hockey at the community center that I gotta go to. First goal of the night came just a mere 8 minutes into the hockey game. It's Jake DeBrusk who frees the puck up for one David Kampf. DeBrusk forechecks hard onto the Islander behind the goal line, chops the puck away from him, where it finds David Kampf on the far side, who is just hanging out there beside the net. DeBrusk's chop ends up finding Kampf, who takes the puck and buries it by an open side on Ilya Sorokin. Kind of a jumbled play. It's tough to blame the goalie on that one. It's just a little bit of a bobble by the Islanders' defense behind their own goal. And then making it 2-0 just a minute or two later, it is Kiefer Sherwood, assisted by Evander Kane and Marcus Pettersson. Kane goes all the way to Sherwood, who chips the puck off the boards to himself, pickpocketing Matthew Schaefer in the process. Schaefer didn't even really get possession of the puck in that span, which is why Evander Kane and Marcus Petey still get the assists. But Sherwood steals it back, walks right in, down the wing, and fires it into the cage, beating Ilya Sorokin. The guy's got a really good on-the-rush wrister, and he can beat goaltenders from distance, as we've learned to see over the past few games here. 2-0 Vancouver, 10:35 in, and then just 5 minutes later, it's Kiefer Sherwood again on the man advantage. You have Vancouver cycling it in the offensive zone. Hronek goes over to Willander, back to Hronek, who throws it into the middle for Kiefer Sherwood, who shoots and scores. It is yet another one of these wrist shots that just beats a goaltender. Not from too far out, but this one was right down Main Street. A beautiful goal there for Kiefer Sherwood, his 15th on the season. No goals in the second period. The third period starts out with Anders Lee, who gets a 6-on-5 goal. Again, Patty Waugh, I mean, he's going to go out there and pull his goaltender early. That's what he likes to do. Hey, guess what? Thatcher Demko wasn't going to stop every shot forever. Matthew Barzal chips it down to Callum Ritchie, who then goes across the crease to Anders Lee, who is able to squeak by the defense. 3-1 hockey game before it becomes 4-1 with Kiefer Sherwood's empty net goal, assisted by Phil Hronek. Vancouver takes this one 4-1. Kiefer Sherwood's trade value has never been higher, and I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Vancouver and Islanders game tonight? I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.